Jamai. My name is Mike Williams, currently the chairman of the Alaska Intertribal Council, a consortium of Alaska's federally recognized tribes based in Anchorage, Alaska. AITC was established in 1992 to protect and defend the Alaska federally recognized tribes throughout Alaska. And one issue that I wanted to talk to you about this evening or today is the issue of National Pollutants Discharge Elimination System, or NPDES. It has the Environmental Protection Agency has recommended or allowed the state of Alaska to apply for a primacy in the NPDES program that EPA runs at this time. However, our tribes in Alaska were never consulted with before this action has taken place, and never asked the tribes if it was okay to turn over all of the responsibilities to state of Alaska, even without the Coastal Zone Management Program, which was gutted a few years ago, and the Coastal Zone Management Program has no real teeth in implementing the regulations that the Alaska Coastal Policy Council established when the Coastal Zone Management was in operation. So what I would like to see is the tribes being consulted by EPA, all 229 federally recognized tribes in Alaska, and ask each tribe of what they thought of, what their recommendations are of this change of policy. And right now, as we speak, the Constitution of the state of Alaska also does not recognize the existence of the federally recognized tribes. The federal government does have a government-to-government consultation policy. And I think, you know, as long as the federal government ceases its obligation to the government policy to the tribes, then I think the waters and our subsistence resources in our lands will suffer as a result of that action. So I would urge all of the tribes in Alaska to request for individual consultation of this policy change by EPA to the state of Alaska, and ask state of Alaska to change its constitution to recognize the existence of tribes in Alaska. So this issue is huge, and we need to do something about it, and every citizen of the state and also the tribal governments must take action and to voice their concerns and to be involved in the decisions that our government have and our multinational corporations that may develop our resources, which are immense in the state today. So I would urge you to oppose the transfer of primacy of NPDES to the state of Alaska at this point, and to ask for a meaningful consultation with all of you. Thank you very much. Jamai Hwaka. My name is Mike Williams. I'm the chairman of the Alaska Intertribal Council. Alaska Intertribal is a statewide consortium of federally recognized tribes in Alaska which share a common bond with unique cultures, languages, spirituality, and traditional values. And I just really feel that the reason why we established Alaska Intertribal Council is to protect our lands, our resources, and our way of life here in Alaska. The state of Alaska has applied for primacy of the National Pollution Discharge Elimination System, NPDES, under the Federal Water Pollution Control Act, the Clean Water Act. And EPA has allowed state of Alaska to apply for the primacy and control of the NPDES program. And it has not allowed the tribes to do that, and we are very concerned about the action of Environmental Protection Agency, and we are obligated to protect our water resources and our resources of our indigenous people here in Alaska, and need to really make sure that the federal government stand up for the statutory and trust obligation that is non-delegatable under the following. The federal Indian policy contained in the Presidential Executive Order 13-175, Government to Government Relations. Another executive order is 12-898 on environmental justice, 12-875 enhancing the intergovernmental partnerships, 12-866 regulatory planning and reviewing. And number 2, State of Alaska deficiencies in primacy eligibility requirements. The state is required under 40 CFR 123 and 135 to implement the Clean Water Act under the same trust obligations and tribal consultation as the federal government does. Finally, number 3, the federal trust obligations cannot be terminated by delegation to the state of Alaska that does not recognize the tribal trust. Indian Tribal Justice Act, chapter of the United Nations International Covenant of Political Rights protecting tribal subsistence, is a very sacred trust that people need to keep that alive. Now, AITC does hereby call the attention of the federal government that transfer of NPDES primacy to the state of Alaska is an act of cultural destruction in violation of federal statutory and trust obligation until the state of Alaska has demonstrated a record of tribal government to government relations. This action, this policy statement, is a policy of Alaska Intertribal Council, and we want this policy to be honored. Thank you very much for your attention, and we expect you to take action. Thank you.